All right, thanks, Joey. Well, time now for a check of our top stories, and we start with the latest on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. New video shows explosions at industrial buildings and factories in Mariupol. The video, released by Azov Battalion of the National Guard of Ukraine, shows huge explosions as a factory in the area is destroyed by multiple Russian strikes. Mariupol has been one of the hardest hit cities in Ukraine since the war began. Hundreds of thousands of residents are suffering through Russian bombardments. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is now in its fourth week. And switching gears now, over 100 students from across Guyana will be trained in the development of artificial intelligence software and leadership skills, dubbed the first of its kind in the Caribbean region by the Spark program, which was launched on Monday. It is expected to create a new pathway to logical digital transformation through the use of artificial intelligence. Now, under the Spark program, students from the secondary territory institutions will engage in 8 week-long training programs that will be supported by 2 overseas-based Guyanese who work in the field. Now, the 2 professors, Jason Mars and Dr. Denise Hillman, want to see more Guyanese development skills in leadership artificial intelligence.
So we've come together to do something for our people, right? To bring the successes we've had as in the diaspora and to come back home to spark the pathway to ignite innovation and perhaps create a transformation in technology and economic prosperity in the country by working on what's in the minds of our young people. And this with the Ministry of Education, who's supported us and is facilitating the journey that we're embarking on.
Now, the program is available to students ages 16 and over and is being rolled out in all 12 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination schools and the Government Technical Institute. Now, it was explained by Professor Mars during a virtual presentation that the program will be delivered virtually in 2 tracks, that is leadership and artificial intelligence.
There's what we call the Spark Lead track, where students learn that mindset for leadership, that mindset for innovation and change making that Denise is running. So she's running that track. And then there's an AI technical track, the Spark AI technical track, which is a track that teaches how to code, how to build using tools that represent the same tools that are used by the biggest companies in the world to build artificial intelligence products and services. And so in that track, the students will, that program will culminate in the students actually building a real AI product that could be launched to the world and be sold on a global scale, which will funnel economic outcomes and value from the global market into the local region.
And switching gears now to the latest on the coronavirus front, there's a new highly contagious Omicron subvariant that's making its way all across Europe. So the question today is another surge inevitable? Well, one local health expert says maybe not.
According to UCSF epidemiologist Dr. George Rutherford, he's hoping with a high vaccination rates here in the Bay Area, cases will continue to decline, even though the Omicron subvariant is already circulating in our community. Tests of wastewater in the South Bay have detected BA.2, mostly in Palo Alto and Gilroy.
We see that BA.2 is likely replacing BA.1, the original Omicron that was infecting the population here.
BA.2 is a subvariant that is responsible for the latest surge in countries like the UK. The concern is the UK has always signaled what's to come for the U.S. According to the Centers for Disease Control, more than 50% of Americans have been spared from the coronavirus so far, which means COVID has the ability to still do a lot of harm.
We have a lot of kindling for the fire if it gets back in. And so that's why we have to have high vaccination rates, including boosters, and continued vigilance to spot trends before they develop.
Dr. George Rutherford from UCSF hopes that the Bay Area can avoid a huge surge, even though the time for families to gather and travel for spring break is just around the corner. This comes as the state is also getting rid of mask mandates and other restrictions.
While we can get rid of mask mandates today, and we can get rid of some other things today, it doesn't mean that we can keep it that way forever.
The White House is urging Congress to approve the next round of funding for the country's COVID response, although some local counties such as Contra Costa say as of now they are well equipped to handle the next surge. Dr. Rutherford says a funding package is critical in the future fight against COVID.
We're going to need that money, especially if we start moving towards more expensive solutions like testing and treating with these new antiviral drugs like Paxlovid. Those are going to be complex decisions, and they're going to cost a lot of money.